All right. So now we are going to talk about the vesting and the non-vesting conditions, right? And we will see how that is can have an impact in terms of the financial reporting, right? In terms of recording of the compensation from that perspective. So when you look at the vesting condition, right, which we talked about, right, the service-based condition or a performance-based condition. So the if it is a performance condition, the entity shall estimate the length of the expected vesting period at the grant date based on the most likely outcome of the performance condition. So which are, let's say, the revenue targets or the EBITDA target, or whether these are likely to be met or not. If answer to that is yes, then you will accordingly appropriately determine the cost. Performance condition may be a market related, could be non-market related. So there are two types of performance condition, the way it is defined in the standard. It could be a market related or it could be a non-market related. Okay. And again, we will try and understand the distinction. It is not very intuitive the way the terms have been defined. It's not very intuitive, but we will try and understand them at kind of a with the help of examples. So there are two types of performance condition, right? It could be a market related or could be a non-market related. From that perspective, let's take an example of a market related condition. Okay. T Limited has granted stock option to its employees with the following two conditions. Employees to remain in service for 3 years. That's a service-based condition. Okay. That's a service-based, right? And equity share price of P Limited should reach INR 75. So it has to reach INR 75. In this case, the condition for equity share price to reach INR 75 is a market performance condition, right? That is linked to your market price of the share. The target that it will vest to you, the vesting conditions are service condition as well as a performance condition. Performance condition is a market condition to say that it has to reach so much stock price. Okay. Now there could be non-market related condition. Okay. So market condition when it has to link to the stock price. Okay. Appreciation of the stock price directly. It could be linked to the non-market, which is when it is linked to the performance. Let's look at this. Employee to remain in service for 3 years, okay, and revenue of P Limited should reach INR 100 crores, right? So in a way, whenever there are market or a non-market condition, the service condition is an implicit. So what service condition, okay, can be explicit or could be implicit. What is the meaning of this, right? The meaning is explicit means when it is explicitly specified, it is 3 years. Okay. Now, implicit service condition means what? When you know that 100 crore will not happen in less than 3 years, right? That's like for you to achieve 100 crore, you have to be, in service for 3 years. That's an implicit service condition. Okay. So we have a service condition and we have a performance condition. Okay. Or vesting condition, right? And they are market related and they are non-market related. So service condition and performance condition. Performance conditions are of two types: market related and non-market related. And market related means it is linked to the appreciation of the share price directly, the targeting of the share price, and the other one is targeting of the performance metric like revenue, EBITDA, operating profit, or anything like that. Okay. From that perspective. So that is what is if you are targeting the share price directly, then it is a market-based condition, or if it is a other performance like revenue target here, then it is a non-market-based condition. Now the accounting can be different depending upon it is a market-based condition or a non-market-based condition. Okay, and we will try and understand this with the help of examples how the principle will work. Now, Innovation Limited has granted 100 share options to each of its 700 employees, 100 to each of the 700. For the options to vest, the employee will have to remain in service with the organization for 3 years. Okay. And so that means the service condition is 3 years. Along with the service condition, the below scenarios with different conditions also exist. Equity share price of Innovation Limited should reach INR 100 in next 3 years. So that's a performance condition, which is a market condition. Okay. Now EBITDA shall be INR 10 crore in next 3 years. That's a non-market condition. Okay. Now, employee can exercise the option after 4 years, after 4 years of service from the date of grant. However, this will not impact the vesting right of the employees if the employee leaves after 3 years. That means the 1 year is just a delay in exercise. So it is called non-vesting conditions. So remember the vesting condition and the non-vesting condition. Vesting conditions are service and performance. Within performance, you have market and non-market, and then everything else is non-vesting conditions. Okay. And now, so we will understand the category of condition of each scenario as mentioned above. So let's just look at the solutions, right? The condition that the employee should remain in service with the organization for 3 years is a service condition, which will be considered in the computation of estimated compensation number of shares which will vest, satisfying the service condition and the related compensation cost. Equity share price target is a market performance condition. Okay, it's a market performance condition which will be considered in the measurement of the fair value of the option. Now that is important point. So if it is a market performance condition, it is considered in determining the fair value of the option. It is, if let's say service condition is met, but the market performance condition is not met, it doesn't matter as far as it relates to the recognition of compensation cost. Okay. However, if it's EBITDA, which is a non-market performance condition and the service condition of 3 years. So if the service condition is met, but the non-market performance condition is not met, then the compensation cost which has been recognized is actually required to be reversed. Okay. Whereas in a market-based performance condition, the compensation cost once recognized, assuming the service condition is met, then you are not allowed to reverse the compensation cost. Whereas the market-based uncertainty, so to say, is considered as an input in determination of the fair value of the option itself. So it in a way depresses the fair value of the option, but once determined and the service condition is met, you need to record the compensation cost. Okay. Whereas in a non-market performance condition, okay, which is linked to revenue or EBITDA or other targets, if the non-market performance condition is not met, but the service condition is met, okay, the compensation cost is allowed to be reversed. All right. That is the difference between accounting between this and this. Okay. It's a very subtle difference. Okay. It's a very, very subtle difference. You need to understand this very, very carefully, right? So I will repeat this one more time. Service condition is met, right? But the non-market performance condition is not met, then the compensation cost will entirely be reversed. Okay. Service condition is met, but the market-based performance condition is not met, then the compensation cost is recognized. It is not allowed to be reversed. Only while determining the amount of the compensation cost, the market-based performance condition is actually an input in determining the total fair value of the compensation. The exercise period, it's a non-vesting condition, which is what I was saying. It's a non-vesting condition since it does not impact the vesting of the options. This will be considered in the measurement of fair value of the. Some more concepts in relation to accounting for share-based payments, right? Conditions of classification of conditions, right? To receive share-based payments. So does the condition determine whether the entity receives the services that entitle the counterparty to the share-based payment, right? No. It's a non-vesting condition. Okay. If yes, right? Yes, then is the condition a specified period of service, right? That's the time service condition. If it is no, it's a performance condition. So we're just trying to, in a way, try to explain this now the performance with the help of this flow chart. Okay. So a service condition and a performance condition. Then a performance condition, does the condition on which the exercise price, vesting or exercisability of an equity instrument depends relate to the market price of the equity instrument, either directly or indirectly? If the answer to that is yes, then it is a market condition. Otherwise, it's a non-market condition. All right. That's the broad summary of non-vesting and vesting, within vesting condition, service condition, and performance condition, within performance condition, a market condition, and a non-market condition. Okay, that is how you need to remember, so that the accounting is very different for some of these conditions. Okay, so vesting conditions are very, very important for us to understand. All right, for us to determine the total compensation cost. Okay, for us to determine the total compensation cost, let's look at this example, which is again from May 2019. Micro Limited has awarded to its production head 10,000 stock options. As per the award, the production head is required to be in service with the organization for 3 years. Okay, the production head is required to be in service with the organization for 3 years. Additionally, the production head is required to reduce the overall production cost by 15% over the next 3 years. Okay, so Micro Limited is awarded 10,000 as was is equal to service. So there's a service condition of how many? 3 years. Okay. Additionally, the production head is required to reduce the overall production cost, right? Non-market performance condition by 15% over 3 years. The grant date fair value of the option awarded is INR 90. Okay. Details of cost reduction achieved in year 1. Okay. 18% expected to vest in future. Year 2, 12% not expected to vest in future. Year 3, 16% achieved. Okay, awesome. So year 1, 18% expected to vest. Year 2, not expected to vest. Year 3, 16% achieved. All right. What will be the amount to be recognized as an expense in each of the 3 years? Interesting question, right? So you first your service condition and a non-market performance condition. So now in year 1 it was expected to vest, so I need to continuously record the cost. In year 2 suddenly now I see it's not expected to vest, there's a change in the scenario, then I'll have to reverse, right? And then year 3, 16% is achieved, that means I'll have to again record. So there's going to be a volatility, right? Let's look at the solution. Recognition of share-based payment transaction, reduction of production cost is a non-market related condition, right? Non-market related condition, since it is not based on share price of the entity as per Ind AS 102. In case of a non-market condition, the company should consider the possibility of achieving the condition while estimating the number of options expected to be vested. I'd given how many? 10,000 options. Fair value of INR 90 at the date of grant shall be used for measuring the cost. So on the date of grant, you fix the cost, right? So 10,000 into 90, okay? So current scenario. So in the given scenario, production cost target of 15% is not met in year 2. And also at that point in time, Micro Limited does not expect to meet this non-market condition to vest in future as well. Accordingly, in year 2, Micro will have to reverse the expense recognized in year 1. However, in year 3, the company has achieved the non-market condition, and therefore, Micro Limited will have to recognize the total cost of the award as an expense in profit and loss. It results into significant amount of volatility because of your changing estimates. Okay, because of your changing estimate. So let's look at how the accounting entries will flow in year 1 to year 3, right? So cost to be recognized in year 1, I'm going to record 10,000 into 1/3 by 90, right? Which is 3 lakh rupees. In year 2, now I said it is not likely to vest. So I'm going to, it's a non-market performance condition. Okay. So I'm going to reverse this entire thing. That means it is 0. Okay. It has become 0. The cumulative cost has become 0. But in year 3, suddenly now it has met the conditions. So I have to, it has vested. So I have to record the entire cost in year 3. 9 lakh rupees of entire cost will get recorded in year 3. Significant. So remember, in a non-market performance condition, if it is not likely to be met, then I don't record any cost. If I previously recorded the cost, that also is required to be reversed. However, if it meets, then I need to record the entire cost. So it results into some volatility. However, if it is a market based performance condition, even though that condition is not met, if the service condition is met, then you are not allowed to reverse the cost. Okay, that's the distinction between a market based performance condition and a non-market based performance condition in terms of the impact on accounting. Now, in terms of determining the fair value of the compensation, if it is a non-market performance condition, that is not an input in determining the fair value of the Black-Scholes option pricing model. But if it is a market-based performance condition, then the option pricing model needs to be tailored to incorporate this also as an input to determine the fair value. Okay, so let's look at another example. Now, same example, Best Limited has awarded to its CEO 10,000 stock options. As per the award, the CEO is required to be in service with the organization for 3 years. Additionally, it is required that the equity share price, instead of the production cost here, we're saying equity share price of the Best Limited should increase by 15% over the next 3 years. Okay. Now, the grant date fair value of the option awarded here is 100. Okay. Now, data provides a movement in share price. It moved by 18%, 13%, and 15%. So in year 2, it hasn't moved up by 15%. It's moved by only 13%. Now, what will be the amount of expense to be recognized by the Best Limited in each of the 3? Okay. Now, unlike the non-market performance condition where we reverse the cost in year 2 because the conditions were not met, here we will not reverse the cost. We are not allowed to reverse the cost rather. So we're going to determine the total cost 10,000 into 100. We're going to divide it by 3, and then every year we will going to record it 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, right? So recognition principle, the condition to achieve the increase in share price movement is a market relating vesting condition, and as per Ind AS 102, such conditions should be taken into account when estimating the fair value, and that fair value is given here. The entity should recognize the cost of the option irrespective of the market condition being met, provided all other vesting conditions, which are service condition, is met. Therefore, there is no requirement to reverse the expense previously recognized if market condition is not met any time or even after that also. Okay. So the current scenario, the market condition is met in year 1 and 3, but not in year 2. However, since the possibility of market condition being met is already considered in determining the fair value, regardless of the movement in share prices, you need to record the expense in each year as 100 into 10,000 by 3 is 3,33,333. Awesome. I hope this is clear to you.